Hi, my name is Yasu, and I'm a licensed real estate agent in Japan. And time to time, I talk about Japanese real estate. And today, I'm gonna go over one of the topic, which is why you really cannot find unicorn property in Japan's major cities, and there's a structural reasons behind it. Yet so many people have been asking me, is there any unicorn properties? If there are any unicorn property, I want to buy it right away. So can you help me to find out? And then I tell them, you have close to 0% to find a unicorn property because of this structural reason. But there is a tiny 1% possibility that you might be able to find a unicorn property, and there's a way to do so. So how to find a unicorn property? I think I'm gonna make a video, the different video, because before talking about the 1% chance of getting that kind of rare unicorn property, I want to talk about why it's nearly impossible for regular consumers like yourself to be able to find and even buy a unicorn property in Japan. It's because of real estate flipping, real estate flipping companies. In Japanese, it's called kaitori saihan business. And then the kaitori saihan is quite a simple business, which is companies buy property, renovate it, and then sell it. That's really it. But it's just such a big revenue making machine for so many real estate companies that also provide brokerage service to clients who look for properties to buy and then sell. And in the last probably 5 years or so, so many real estate companies have realized that it is so much better for them to start doing property flipping so that they can stabilize more profit side and the revenue side, as well as they can minimize the lost opportunity as a real estate company, unlike just simply doing the brokerage, especially for buyer. Because in Japan, real estate companies can represent both buyer and seller. That's how it works. And oftentimes, potential buyers, they talk to multiple different agents, which creates a lot of uncertainty for real estate companies, because only way for real estate companies to make money for their brokerage division is when their clients purchase a property via their brokerage service. So if the potential buyer decides to, oh, I'm not going to buy in the last minute, even though everything that real estate company has done for the client, no money at all. And then this is not something that no real estate company can control. And because of that, if they only do brokerage, their primary target is to find the seller and then get the exclusive brokerage agreement with the seller so that they are the only one who can represent the seller for a property. So as soon as they put the property on the market, many buyers agents start contacting them, and to buy the property, anyone must go through the seller's agent. So as long as seller's agents can find the buyer from the buyer's agent, at least they can really secure the commission as a seller's agent. But still, there is a limit in terms of how much they can charge for their commission and brokerage fee, which is 3% of the property price times 30% of the property price plus 60,000 Japanese yen plus 10% consumption tax. But what if they can become the seller? Seller can set any kind of asking price. Let's say I'm the seller. I bought my property 50 million Japanese yen. But based on what's going on in the current market, and I know how much it can attract potential buyer. So I set for my property asking price is double 100 million Japanese yen. And if anyone buys my property at 100 million Japanese yen, then my profit is 50 million Japanese yen because originally I bought the property at the 50 million Japanese yen. But let's say if I only represent the property as a brokerage agent, only 3% of the property price, just roughly speaking. So what I can make is 1.5 million Japanese yen, roughly speaking, against 50 million Japanese yen. So in that context, it's so much better to just be the seller of the property. So that's the whole logic behind it. And then any real estate companies wants to become the seller. And they are the professional in the real estate industry. They know how the banks would actually assess the PL and BS and willing to lend the money for their own business by utilizing all the assets and everything. And that is why so many real estate brokerage company have started kaitori saihan business, property flipping business. And they have a special dedicated team at the companies. They're soldiers. They just keep calling potential sellers, property owners, other real estate companies. They check all the database and even send a physical letter telling the owners that if you sell it right now, this is how much your property is worth it. I can assess so easily. I can just buy your property right away. They do so many branding and activities on social media, and they are attending so many different kinds of events. So nowadays, whenever I attend any real estate related event, more than 90% of the people are kaitori saihan people, exchanging business cards. And then as soon as we exchange, they just started to telling me that, okay, I want to buy a property. I'm looking for this kind of property. If you know anything, let me know. I'm gonna pay you the cash. Very aggressive, very focused, and they work so hard to find the unicorn property to flip. They really, really work harder, like crazy hard. And that's their work, that's their business. So for you to compete with those soldiers, you have really zero chance to find any unicorn company before they find those unicorn properties. And also there is always a strong reciprocal relationship among real estate agents. And more real estate agents realize that to participate in the reciprocal relationship will actually benefit them in the long term. So if one agent gives this unicorn property opportunity to different agent, that agent owns big time. And this agent works so hard to return the favor, and it just keeps enhancing the relationship, the reciprocal relationships among real estate companies and agents. And they just keep flipping, keep introducing the properties. And it's not easy job until they find a unicorn property based on their calculations, based on their professionalism and everything. And then once they flip, find a buyer, they make 20 million Japanese yen or 50 million Japanese yen as a profit-wise. And then recently, when I attended one of the network event, and one of the company's president was speaking about how his company has been growing so rapidly. And it was specifically because of this property flipping business. When he was only focusing on brokerage business, the company's annual sales was like 1,200 million Japanese yen annually by doing the brokerage. But as soon as his company started doing the kaitori saihan, the property flipping, just less than 2 years, the company's annual sales has jumped up to 2 billion Japanese yen. It's a huge jump. So of course, they cannot stop doing that. And it's not only about the sales side is actually jumping dramatically, profitability as well. Because the brokerage is only 3%, when it comes to flipping, they can just set any asking price. So yeah, it's nearly impossible for you as a regular consumer to compete with those professional people. And even if you can find a unicorn property before they do, it's really less likely for anyone to make a move right away. Because for regular consumers, when they visit properties, they can feel that this is it. This is a unicorn property. But still, they need to go through so many emotional steps to process everything. They need to talk to their family. They need to calculate the potential renovation fees. And also they need to go through financing process. It takes probably a couple days, a week, 2 weeks. But by then, if it's a real unicorn property, then by then, Kaitori Saihan people would find those property and make an offer right away. And then you will miss the opportunity to purchase. So decision-making process and then speed, and then something that's out of your control, which is financing, securing the financing, you have a lot of limitations to compete with Kaitori Saihan people. That is why it's really 99% of the chances you really cannot get the property, the unicorn property. But in terms of finding and spotting a unicorn property, there is a 1% chance that you can actually make that happen. And I will talk about how to do so, what to do so, where to look. Yeah, I'm going to talk about that in the next video. So, what I want to say is stop looking for unicorn property. What I want to say is look for the property that you really, really love. And if you love the property, buy it. And no matter how long it takes for you to just keep looking, and if you cannot find the property that you love, it's not meant to be. You don't need to buy it. That's the only thing that I think you should care, whether you love the property or not. And if you start including many factors, including that I want to buy only if that is a unicorn property, then you will never be able to buy it. So yeah. Oh yeah, but there's another advice that I can give is if you really want to actually find a unicorn property and buy the unicorn property, establish your own real estate company, set up Kaitori Saihan team, and then have them start looking for unicorn property. If there's one, you can buy and you can live there, or to expand your real estate business, you can just simply flip and then sell it. That's the only way. But how to find and spot unicorn property as a regular consumer, like you're a client, like you're a customer, that is different from what I just said. So I will talk about that in the next video. So thank you for watching, and if you somehow find this video, please like this video and then subscribe it. And if you have any questions regarding Japanese real estate, please give me a comment so that I know what kind of topics or information so you're looking for, and then I can make video to talk about those topics. So thank you for now. じゃあね。バイバイ。